Hello, incoming sixth graders of Fennville Middle School. My name is Principal Potts. I am the principal here at the middle school, and you're about to take a tour with some of our sixth grade staff members, and they're going to show you around the building here a little bit and tell you about some of the things that you're going to need to find when you come to school here in the fall. I wanted to take a moment to talk to you a little bit about the office and where I work before we get started with the tour. My plan was to walk you around the office and show you what's in there, but as you can see, I locked myself out, and there's nobody here to help. Let this be a lesson to you that here at Fennville Middle School, nobody's perfect. What we do expect from you, though, is to come every day and try your best. Sometimes it won't always work out, and you might end up here in the office, and we might have a conversation, but what you need to know is the office here is not a place that you need to be afraid of. I like to have more positive conversations than negative ones here in the office. So when you get called here and myself or Mrs. Morris asks you to come down to the office, that's not always a bad thing. I want you to know that it's a place that you can come if you need help, if you need somebody to talk to, or I often call you down here to praise you for different things. It's not a place that you need to be afraid of, and it is not a place that you go simply because you're in trouble or made some poor choices. Enjoy your tour as the sixth grade staff is going to show you around the rest of the building. Down here is where most of your sixth grade classes will be, and they're going to start with your tour down on this end of the building. Enjoy!
Welcome to Fennville Middle School, sixth graders. These are the west doors, the doors that you'll be coming in after 7:20 from the bus route. From here, you'll be wandering down these hallways towards the sixth grade. Let's look at the classrooms as we go down this hallway. This is Miss Riva. She is our art teacher. This will be a rotation class for you sixth graders. This door across the hall here is Mrs. Leonard. She will have the choir rotation class also for sixth graders. Down this hallway is going to be the access to a computer lab, and then Miss Martin, who is our peer mediator for the school building. As we continue down the hallway, this next door is going to be Mrs. Howard, who is going to be 8th grade math teacher. She has some technology classes, and she does 8th grade math intervention classes. As we continue down the hallway, on our right here is going to be the library, the media center. Mrs. Garpo will be in our media center. This is where we will come with your classes to check out books. Also another access room to the computer lab through that way. The side over here is Mr. Best. He is the 8th grade social studies teacher, current issues teacher, and coaches our high school track team. This is just a storage closet. Sorry, this room right here is just a storage closet. No secrets here, don't bother looking in it, it's nothing fancy. Around the school, you'll see the clocks. They're usually pretty close telling time within 15-20 seconds. Pay attention to those two sixth graders. As we continue down the hallway, this room here is Mrs. Blake. Mrs. Blake is our language arts teacher for 8th grade. Drinking fountain down here for if you have a rotation class down here. This is the one we'll expect you guys to use. And then this is the middle school band room. Mr. Andrews will be our band teacher. This is Miss Rinaldi, our school social worker's room. As we continue down the hallway, these are all 8th grade lockers down here, so they're all kind of together. In the mornings, we would expect that just 8th graders are here. There's no name tag on this now, but there will be, or there is somewhere. Mrs. Holst, this is our 8th grade science, and one section of 6th grade science will also be in this classroom. So 25% of you 6th graders will have her for a class, so you will be coming down here for 6th grade science. That's the last classroom in this 8th grade hallway. These are continued 8th grade lockers as we go. That is just a maintenance room here, and then the room on the end here is going to be the staff lounge, copy machine, where some teachers will eat lunch. And around this corner, we'll be turning to go the rest of the way down the school.
All right, now continuing through the middle school and continuing down the hallway, we have Mrs. Rock's room here. Mrs. Rock, she's in charge of student council. She's also in charge of helping out ELL students. So this is where you can find her if you ever need to find her for those two purposes. Continuing down the hallway, around the corner, here we have one of our main bathrooms here. We have the boys' bathroom. This is typically going to be used for your rotational classes. So if you're in tech, or if you're in gym, or if you're in choir, art, this is where you'll probably come and use the restroom. And then continuing into the lobby and into the gym, here we have our gymnasium. This is Mrs. McNeil. Now, we also have students, and sometimes before school, you're allowed to go in there and kind of use up a little bit of your energy before school starts. So this is a spot for you guys before school, and typically after 7:30, I think is when we usually let you guys, or 7:35 is when we usually let you guys go in there. Now, continuing on, moving next, we have Mr. Dusick in his room. Mr. Dusick is our student success coordinator, so if you're ever told you need to go to talk with Mr. Dusick, that's where you will go. Continuing through here, we have the lobby. Here's where you're going to find announcements. You're going to find things in terms of sports schedules, competitions, or things that we may be doing as a school. You see, we did have a competition here between the 3 grade levels for their soar slips that we were doing. Now here, if you're somebody who comes in and you are dropped off to school, this is where you will stay until 7:20. At 7:20, you'll be allowed to come into the school and you'll be allowed to go to the cafeteria for breakfast, or we typically have students in the gym at that time. Continuing, and there you get a sound of what the bells will be like when you need to change your classes. Here we have the main office. This is where our secretary, Mrs. Morris, will be. If you ever need anything, or if you ever happen to come in late, you'll need to sign in, you'll need to get a pass, all of those types of things. Moving along through the main lobby here. Continuing, next, you see this is our other bathroom we have here, the girls' bathroom. Once again, for gym class, for 7th grade, or for other classes in this area, this is the restroom that you'll probably use. And then we'll finish up here with the 7th grade hallway. So this is the 7th grade hallway, where you're going to find a lot of 7th grade lockers and a lot of 7th grade students.
All right, guys, we're now in the 6th and 7th grade hallway. And at the very beginning of the hallway, we have Mrs. Kiss's room. Mrs. Kiss is a special ed teacher, and she also does our peer-to-peer group. On this side of the hallway, we have Ms. Brower. Ms. Brower is also a special education teacher, and she teaches some reading intervention also. Coming down the hallway, on the left side, we have Mr. James, who teaches 7th grade social studies and current issues. Mrs. Scott's room is on this side. And then continuing down the hallway, we have Ms. Hugmeyer's 7th grade ELA classroom, drinking fountain. And then over here is Mr. Sampson's 6th grade social studies class and current issues class. Almost towards the end of the hallway, we have Mr. Walsh's 7th grade math class. He actually has 2 doors to his classroom, but this is the door that is accessed. And then on the other side of the hallway is my classroom, Mrs. Best's classroom, which is 6th grade ELA. I also teach a reading intervention class. And then the final classroom in this hallway is Mr. Gray's math class. Mr. Gray teaches 6th grade math and also 8th grade math.
All right, so this is Mr. Groff's class. He teaches 7th grade science, but he will also have one class of 6th graders as well. So just like Ms. Holst in the 8th grade hallway, some 6th graders, you guys will be coming to Mr. Groff for a class of science. All right, so this is the other 6th grade science classroom. Well, half you will be in this classroom, the other 6th graders. This is the last classroom before we get to the cafeteria. This door is where we have some lunchtime learning happening. It's our nest we use for kids who want to avoid a bigger cafeteria or need to get some work done during lunchtime. Other than that, there's a small computer lab in here, and we use this for pull-out kind of classrooms or testing situations. Across from the science classrooms here, we have the boys' bathroom and the girls' bathroom that we would expect 6th graders to use when you're in your classrooms. There's also a drinking fountain here, so when you're in your core classes, these will be the closest bathrooms for you guys to use. Also, it is right outside of the cafeteria, so if you need to use a bathroom on the way to the cafeteria or the way back from the cafeteria, this is where we'd expect you guys to use the bathrooms. If we were to enter the cafeteria, as we come in, we have our menu up here that Mrs. Rock has been really good at writing for us and putting out there for us. There are hand sanitizers here for us at different locations for us as we come in if you didn't stop and wash your hands in the bathroom. The tables will all be set up out here for you 6th graders. What we have done is you guys come in and you sit down and then you get dismissed from your tables to line up for lunch. Let's talk about the 2 lines for lunch real quick. There are 2 possible lines for you to get your lunch. The line on the left, this left door here, will be your hot lunch of the day, whatever that lunch is, okay? The line on the right will be a la carte stuff. So your parfaits, your salads, your sandwiches, your pizza, chicken nuggets. If it's not the lunch of the day, but you want those things, that's called a la carte, you line up on the right. That stuff would cost you money, okay? As you walk in past these doors, the milk will be sitting right here in coolers off to the side. You get 1 milk with your meal. If you get more, it will cost you extra money, okay?